Hello and welcome to Akshu's Kitchen. Today you will see how to prepare banana chips, for which we need raw banana. You can use any raw banana, but I prefer to use the plantain raw banana that is authentically used. First I am going to cut the tip and the tail of the banana. Then just cut a slit in the banana, and from there you can tear the skin off. It is a bit difficult job, but you can do that easily. It will easily tear off. So you can continue that and tear the skin off completely. And now I am going to slice this into small pieces. What I am going to do is I am going to use a slicer for this, and I am going to directly slice the chips into the oil. The reason why I am doing this is, if I slice it first and then add to the oil, even if you are very careful, the chips may stick with each other. So to avoid that and to get non-sticky chips, I am slicing it directly onto the oil. So slice as much as the oil pan can hold, leaving no gaps between the chips. Continue until the oil pan is completely filled with chips. Use medium flame, and the oil should not be too hot. Before it gets much hotter, you can slice the chips to it so that it takes its own time slowly to get crispier. Keep on stirring it frequently so that all the chips gets cooked evenly. So it takes around about 5 to so after some time you can see the bubbles have stopped, which means the chips is ready now, and it is also crispier in texture. I can hear the sound. Now I have dissolved 1 teaspoon of salt in half a cup of water. What I am going to do is I am going to sprinkle a handful of this salt water into the oil. So don't be afraid, the oil won't spatter out because the oil is completely covered with chips. So only the chips will be absorbing the salt water. The reason why I am using salt water is, if you take the chips out and then sprinkle the salt, like potato wafers or any other wafers, banana chips does not hold the salt properly. So in order to get the salt completely, I am doing this. So again continue till the bubbles stop, and now it is ready. I am going to take it and drain it in a tissue paper to absorb the excess oil. Now I am going to continue the process in the same oil. So here you have to be careful now, because even though the chips have absorbed the salt from the oil, still there will be some salt content in the oil. So in the next batch of chips, what you have to do is you have to reduce the amount of salt water, because the chips will absorb both the salt from the oil and as well as the salt water we are sprinkling. So if you are using 1 handful of salt water in the first batch, you will have to use only 3/4 handful of salt water in the next batch, and you have to gradually decrease it for the upcoming batches. And also, if you are going to reuse the oil the other day for any other purpose, be very careful, because still it will have some salt in it. So if you are using any vada or bhajis like that, you have to use only the half quantity of the salt needed. Remaining half quantity of salt, it will absorb from the oil. So be careful with that. So I am continuing with the other banana, the same process. The only difference is I have to reduce the amount of salt water required, and I have to fry it until it stops bubbling. And now my chips is ready. So this time I have reduced the quantity of salt water, and again it will start bubbling. Allow it to absorb the salt, and when the bubbles stop, take it and drain it in a tissue paper. Try it and you will really love it. Thank you for watching Akshu's Kitchen.